Hello, good evening. I am Hadiza Olaosebikan, welcoming you to another fascinating edition of BOI Impact that brings you an update on the 2 billion naira Graduate Entrepreneurship Fund, also known as GEF, that was jointly launched by the Bank of Industry and the National Youth Corps Directorate on the 5th of October 2015. The event also witnessed the signing of MOU between NYSC, BOI, and the competent enterprise development centers that are to conduct this week's training session. The next half hour shall feature a recap of the journey so far and preview of this week's training program. Happy viewing. At the launch of the 2 billion naira Graduate Entrepreneurship Fund, GEF, the Executive Director, Small and Medium Enterprises at the Bank of Industry, Mr. Rasheed Olaoluwa, in whose purview the Graduate Entrepreneurship Fund falls, kick-started the program.
As we all know, the background to this, the setting to this, the context to this, is that youth unemployment is a big challenge, particularly in Nigeria and Africa as a whole. What is true of Africa is also true of Nigeria, because Nigeria is easily the most populous country in Africa. Statistics have it that more than 62% of Africa's population are below 25, and those are in your generation. And we all had what happened in 2011 when Mohamed Bouazizi in Tunisia set himself ablaze. It was part of frustration, youth unemployment. And that was the beginning of the Arab Spring. And that has not ended. So what that means is that if we don't pay attention to youth unemployment, it will lead to a lot of consequences. And that will be unpalatable for society and indeed the global community. And governments cannot employ everybody, like we all know. So the private sector remains the biggest hope for everybody in terms of employment. This has to do with what we are talking about here today. It's a program that targets the two. Capacity in terms of skills. You need to know what to do. You need to be knowledgeable, right? It's when you are knowledgeable and you know what you want to do that financiers will be willing to make funds available to you. Finances doesn't only mean credit. It also includes equity and other forms of funding. So that's all about GEF. Is a two-pronged program that addresses these two major constraints. So it's my pleasure to invite the Managing Director to please deliver his keynote address.
The Managing Director of BOI, Mr. Rasheed Olaoluwa, said GEF is one of the solutions to job and wealth creation in the country.
The main reason we're gathered here today is to provide a solution, or at least seek to provide a solution to graduate unemployment in Nigeria, which, if not urgently addressed, could have adverse consequences for our society. An innovative approach is required to tackle this social malaise of graduate unemployment that has engulfed the country. The strategy is to identify the innate talents of these young graduates as soon as they leave school, build their capacities for self-reliance, and also empower them to establish their own businesses, thereby creating jobs, not just for themselves, but also for other youths that they may employ. An example of this strategy is in the entertainment industry, where musical talent hunt shows such as Project Fame, Nigeria Idols, and so on are organized from time to time in order to identify the next generation of musical talents locally and internationally. The equivalent of the talent hunt in the business world, which is meant to address the entrepreneurial capacity and funding gaps of the serving members of NYSC, is the Graduate Entrepreneurship Fund, which we are launching jointly with NYSC here today.
He also stated some of the objectives of the fund.
The Graduate Entrepreneurship Fund provides a platform for the NYSC members to be trained and to be granted access to finance to actualize their viable business ideas. The objectives of the fund include: 1, to encourage graduates of tertiary institutions that are serving under the 1-year NYSC program to venture into business and become employers of labor rather than job seekers. 2, to develop the entrepreneurship skills and capacity of NYSC members. 3, to deepen financial inclusion by de-risking the NYSC members and making them eligible for small business loans to be provided by BOI and other Nigerian commercial banks. 4, to develop the next generation of Nigeria's business leaders and promote a business can-do spirit among Nigerian youth. And 5, to bring focus and attention to the need for us to develop Nigeria's real sector as a basis for diversifying our economy.
The components of GEF are as follows.
First, there will be a selection and screening of 1,000 NYSC members that will participate in the capacity building process through an online business idea competition. This will be followed by a 3-day capacity building program, which will cover such topics as generating the right business idea, which is the value proposition, how to run a profitable business, that's the business model, basic selling skills, and financial record keeping. At the end of the training, NYSC members will be able to develop their own bankable business plans, which will form the basis of loan consideration by BOI. Thirdly, medium to long-term loans at single-digit interest rates will be provided by BOI for qualifying successful NYSC members based on their business plans.
The capacity building component of the program will be implemented in partnership with NYSC Directorate, and it will be facilitated by the Skills Acquisition Entrepreneurship Department of NYSC and 9 other collaborating partners that include entrepreneurship development centers and training consultants spread across the country. The MD of the bank also pointed out some of the features of GEF.
The total amount available for lending under the GEF is 2 billion naira. Each beneficiary of GEF can access loans ranging from 500,000 naira to 2 million naira for the procurement of plant and machinery as well as working capital at a single-digit interest rate of 9% with a tenor from, depending on the circumstance, on a case-by-case basis, between 3 to 5 years. And this is inclusive of 6 months moratorium. One unique feature of GEF is that it does not require the conventional collateral usually demanded by banks. So you want to know what the collateral is? We will take a specific charge on the equipment we are financing. And we will also take a lien on your NYSC discharge certificate, just to have a moral angle to you, so that you know you cannot go away. NYSC Secretariat will help us hold on to that certificate until the loan is fully repaid. And I believe that regardless of circumstance of the NYSC corporate, there must be somebody who can stand for you. In the immediate family, in the extended family, there must be somebody who can stand for you. So we need you to give us just one guarantor. That is all we're asking for.
In his speech, the NYSC DG assured the management of the bank that the program will be executed for the aim it was set out for.
I want to state here that the NYSC, we are going to fulfill our own aspect of this partnership. We are going to provide for you 1,000 core members that are really interested, not just anyone that wants to hide under it to get money to go and buy a car.
Yes, sir.
We are going to provide suitable camps for the training. We are going to provide all the information you need. You talked about call-up numbers. I want to also tell you that now they know that we even have their biometric capture, so that with that, nobody can come and hide, take money and go away. So we will support or we'll make sure that we provide our own aspect of this partnership.
He also urged government to provide policies that would encourage young entrepreneurs to be more productive.
I started that sometimes ago. There's an ex-corp member, and I think he's here. And we noticed that he was producing refined gari. And I felt that, look, if this man keep producing this gari and going around everywhere, and there is nobody to patronize him, he will just fold up one day. So I took him to the army, and he can confirm it. From him, we started buying in large packets, sending to our troops in the Northeast. And the troops love it. Once they are going on patrol, they put it in their pouch collar. They have water in their water bottle, because some of them, not because the provision is not there, but because of the nature of the terrain where they operate, they might not get food, breakfast might not reach them until evening. But because it's very handy, they quickly put it in their, bring it out, and they have something to eat.
The 9 training consultants signed a memorandum of understanding with the bank and NYSC. Here are remarks from some of the consultants.
I want to say a very big thank you to the BOI and to NYSC and to all you corpers, as many of you that qualify to benefit from this program. Please make sure that you give the whole of you into it, because we are dependent as a country on what you would make out of this opportunity that's been given to you. Thank you, and God bless.
I think what this can do in terms of engendering hope among the youth and giving the opportunity and sending out that strong message that young people need to go out there and not look for jobs, but create the jobs and create the wealth and create the value, not at the top end of the economy, but you know where? In the local economies. So, Youth Corpus, are you ready? Yes. I didn't hear anything. Yes. Whoever succeeds, your story will be told, and you will be a hero.
The future is not in any job. There's no job anywhere. The future is in your hands. What better will you have in life than somebody saying, hey, you graduate, I'm going to train you, and all I need is your certificate, and hey, here's the cash, go and start. I think we should appreciate them to a round. Thank you very much.
I want to commend the MD for allotting 2 billion naira for this effort. So DG NYSC is over to you now, and government. Find a way to allow BOI to play the role of BOI, because we must sustain this program. Sustainability is important, and that requires more funds.
That I am thrilled. I think I am fulfilled, almost. And I want to thank the MD and other members of the management of the Bank of Industry for finding us worthy of this partnership.
Welcome back. At the close of the competition on the 3rd of November, 3,100 applications were received. The good news is that the training program for the 1,000 successful budding entrepreneurs will take place this week between Wednesday 18th and Friday 20th, simultaneously at the 7 locations across the country. You know what? the launch has been resoundingly commended across the length and breadth of the country, and even amongst Nigerians in diaspora. GEF is seen as a highly promising panacea for the challenge of youth unemployment that is facing our dear nation. See you on the other side. Soon after the launch, BOI embarked on a robust communication campaign using the conventional mass media and the digital platforms, including bulk messages via the mobile phones. Over a period of 28 days, very high interest was stimulated. By the close of the competition, 3,100 entries were received. In keeping with GEF guidelines, BOI set up a panel that diligently screened the submission off-site between 5th and 8th, in line with the set eligibility criteria. Their task was to select the best 1,000 business ideas and shortlist their originators from this week's 3-day capacity building program.
We've been here since Thursday morning, 8:30 a.m. and we received a total of 3,100 entries, and these are being reviewed. We've been doing that since Thursday, and today is Saturday, and we intend to complete the review no matter how late today, because for each of the past 2 days, Thursday, Friday, we've been leaving this place past midnight because it's quite, it's a huge task, and it's something we cannot rush. We have to look at every entry, each of the entries, look at the responses, review their responses, and look at their summarized business ideas, business plans, you know, to be able to score them fairly. So we're going to pick the top 1,000 scorers for the capacity building program at the end of this exercise.
The business ideas proposed by the shortlisted NYSC members are all within the 35 SME clusters that are being accorded priority by the Bank of Industry. On the appraisal methodology, the panelists stated that evaluation of how well the applicants completed the questionnaire on their understanding of their value proposition, customer segment, risk, competition, amongst others, ranked 40%, while assessment of the applicants' business ideas ranked 60%.
There's a product program for this scheme. And under the product program, we have our risk acceptance criteria. The conditions are all spelled out there. So the applications will be reviewed along that product program document. And anyone that scales through qualifies for the loan.
For 3 days we've been doing this, and we've seen brilliant ideas that are practical. And therefore, people are not just dreaming. People have seen reality and people are ready to go into it. What this is telling us is that with a little support, a lot of youth will not go looking for jobs. Little support, because all the ideas are there. Some of them actually are, as of today, doing it, but in a very small level, small scale. And all they need is a little push, which is what BOI is doing today.
What I've seen in the last 3 years, it's also a mixed bag, just to use Azuka's language. I've been able to look at the quality of our educational system and how young graduates are looking at their cash crops and how they can convert them into profitable businesses. So for me, I think it's quite good, and I think BOI is a trailblazer.
It's been very challenging, but very worthwhile. We've had a whole lot of applications that we've been reviewing. Some are good, some are not so good. Our job here is to pick the best and deliver value for the bank's investment in us, for the time and money spent on this scheme.
By the time this program assists some of them to launch into a bigger terrain, you will see the multiplier effect as that will be a kind of a way of getting others, especially those in schools now, to start thinking about this self-employed. The mindset will have gradually changed by the time they see the opportunity and watch some of their mates or their seniors have taken advantage of. So I'm quite happy, I'm quite delighted, and the experience we have seen in this case, I think is going to is going to influence some of the things we're going to do in the future. We keep improving on what we started, and I think it's a great thing.
The list of top 1,000 applicants consists of 997 applicants that are 2015 NYSC members batches A and B, batches 15A and 15B, and 3 applicants that are batch C 2014, batch 14C NYSC members. Out of the list of 1,000 successful applicants, 664, 66% are male, while 336, 34% are female. While geopolitical distribution of the course participants on the basis of primary assignment showed that the Northwest account for 133, Northeast 143, North Central 147, Southeast 137, South-South 141, Southwest 144, and Lagos 155. The training program will take place simultaneously in NYSC camps located in the following 7 centers: Katsina in Katsina State, Mangu in Plateau State, Jalingo in Taraba State, Isele Uku in Delta State, Ede in Osun State, Omunna in Abia State, and Iyanokpaja in Lagos State. Furthermore, medium to long-term loans at single-digit interest rates will be provided by BOI after the capacity building program to qualify successful NYSC members that are able to produce bankable business plans that meet the bank's risk acceptance criteria (RAC) at the end of the 3-day entrepreneurship capacity building program. Welcome back. From all indications, GEF holds a lot of bright promises for the resolution of Nigeria's youth unemployment challenges. In subsequent editions, we shall bring you highlights from this week's training sessions, as BOI's Impact Crew has been deployed to cover them, as well as other progress reports on the implementation of GEF. Well, it's on this note that we'll draw the curtain on this week's edition of BOI Impact. Do have yourself an enterprising week. I am Hadiza Olaosebikan. Bye for now.
Have you ever imagined a time when you could apply for and get a loan from the comfort of your bedroom? Well, it is now a reality with the fast and swift Bank of Industry real-time online loan application initiative.
Is designed to deliver access and convenience to prospecting SME customers.
How it works: simply search keyword Bank of Industry and download our mobile app. Click on the apply button. Click on register to register your account. A verification link and tracking code will be sent to your registered email address. Click on the verification link to facilitate login. Once logged in, you can complete your application, submit, and click on continue to start tracking your loan application. An email will be sent to your email address confirming receipt of the application. Start applying for your loan right away. Bank of Industry, transforming Nigeria's industrial sector.